You are welcome to HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. The latest trending news about the R. Kelly situation is the release of the surviving R. Kelly final episode, also referred to as the final chapter. In this episode, the R. Kelly witch hunters attempt to celebrate what looks like a win against the R&B King. But the truth remains that the two guilty verdicts, first in New York and later in Chicago, are still yet to be tested through an appeal process, and if I were in the shoes of the accusers, I wouldn't be in a hurry to celebrate. While R. Kelly was found guilty in the New York court, it was all for charges that were completely unprecedented and inappropriate for the nature of case he was dealing with. Also important to note, so many discrepancies have been found to exist between R. Kelly's actions and what racketeering does actually mean. There is completely nothing to prove that R. Kelly was in any way involved in racketeering of anything of the sort. He wasn't running a drug cartel, and neither did he operate any sort of criminal enterprise. All R. Kelly did was create and manage his music, and there was nothing wrong with him having associates for that purpose. There was no such thing as an enterprise organized by R. Kelly for any sinister businesses. It looks like the Dream Hampton team is only doing this to distract the case analysts and higher court observers from noticing the inconsistencies in their witness testimonies and from checking their credibility. They want to see everyone take their attention off the prosecution's illegal approaches to this case, right from evidence gathering, through the indictment to the hearing, and finally the Chicago judge's successful attempt to overthrow the indictment. They made way too many legal errors for anyone to trust the subsequent judgments, and it looks like the only way they can cover up is by releasing another episode of the infamous documentary. Also, considering the defaming commercial series has been streaming on platforms such as Netflix, and therefore making money for the stakeholders to mean Sony and her accomplices, the producers are finding it lucrative business investing in another episode to further tarnish while they earn. How the US government is able to allow all this crime to be committed right under their watch, it's very hard to understand. Anyone who has been following the case since R. Kelly's arrest back in 2019 will tell you that the government presented no credible witnesses against R. Kelly. Almost every single one of them they brought to the stand had lied under oath, and throughout their testimonies, they continued to lie. While it's only Lisa Van Allen we managed to smoke out when she lied she was 17 and with R. Kelly yet she was 18, many more like her were equally telling lies their parents and the government had coached them to speak about the R&B King. Also important to note is the fact that the entire New York proceeding was only intended to dehumanize R. Kelly, considering no parts of the prosecution testimonies were directly connected to the RICO and Mann Act charges imposed on him. Also, images online show them enjoying joy rides in R. Kelly's cars. If they were really oppressed like the documentary suggests, why couldn't they drive straight to the police and be transferred to safety? What's all the conspiracy to make the world believe R. Kelly locked women up against their will? Lifetime and Dream Hampton need to pray R. Kelly remain in prison, because when he gets out, they will be sued for defamation, and they will have to pay a hefty price for this. It's also disturbing to see video footage of the same women that testified against Robert defend him with confessions of impersonation by Joycelyn, and even more confessions by Azriel how her parents were seeking to blackmail their man. One will wonder, between then and now, what has changed apart from the fact that R. Kelly is now in jail. The women were clearly for R. Kelly being innocent until he was locked up and unable to provide for their daily and monthly expenses. The proper interpretation of this is that the women were likely cornered into turning against R. Kelly, considering he could no longer provide for them when he was in jail. Fans and supporters of R. Kelly have teamed up to petition for the removal of the surviving R. Kelly documentary from streaming sites, suggesting it's simply a mudslinging campaign against one man for all the wrong reasons, and citing its interference with the trial process. The fact that the show elevated the voice of non-credible people who lied on R. Kelly makes its airing illegal. However, because the financiers of this R. Kelly takedown are right behind the show, it becomes next to impossible to stop its airing. Instead, those who attempt to criticize it or stop it in any way are promptly ending up in jail in a display of utmost impunity. According to Candace, The impunity with which Lifetime is operating, releasing episode after episode, is a perfect display of government injustice, especially for black celebrities who have time and again been brought down using similar malicious methods. If it was true that R. Kelly was guilty, they wouldn't need to release episode after episode of this commercial production to tarnish his name. According to Noah, I don't usually like generalizing, but it looks like our lives as black men are in deep trouble. What I find rather saddening is the fact that our fellow black women are joining the racket to take down their own men. This makes all of us unsafe no matter where in the US you are or what you do. We need to stop this before it turns into a habit that when targeting a successful black man, they use the very women he lives with to railroad him. When R. Kelly was with these women, they were all happy and taken care of. Now that he is in jail and the dollars stopped flowing, look where they have got him. According to Phoenix, a lot of people are talking so much crap about R. Kelly. I guarantee a lot of these same people got a brother, cousin, nephew, uncle, father or someone in their family that could find themselves in a similar situation. When the money stopped flowing, that's when these mothers that technically gave away their daughters started thinking they need to ruin this man's life, and 30 years is excessive as hell. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say. To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.